Hey guys, it's Cooley Smiley, and recently one of you guys asked if I could do a deep dive on my journals because y'all want to see my routine when it comes to journaling and letting my thoughts out and expressing myself in private. So I'm going to show you all of my journals, but I want to start off by admitting a few things and maybe destigmatizing journaling in general. First off, if you're watching this video and journaling intimidates you, or you've never tried it before, or it's just kind of seemed like it's kind of useless to you in general, let me explain a few things. Journaling doesn't have to be what lifestyle gurus make it out to be on social media. Journaling can be as you need it, when you need it. Think of it like an anxiety pill. You only take it when you need it. You only journal when you need it. You only journal when it feels right in that moment. I think that some people preach that you gotta journal every day, you have to be consistent and blah, 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 and I disagree. I'm neurodivergent, okay? Routine doesn't work for me. It never has. It's more of a habit. So what I like to do when I'm feeling like it's a me day, when I'm feeling like I need to do some self-care, I haven't put my thoughts to paper in a minute, I haven't fully thought about how I felt in a minute, I haven't fully taken time for me in a minute. How many times did I say minute? That's when I will go out on my hammock in my backyard if it's nice enough, or find a comfortable spot in my bedroom on my couch to sit with these many journals. There's a lot of them. Like I said, please don't be intimidated. Routine doesn't work for me. Stagnancy doesn't work for me. So I have a lot of different journals, and each of them have their own utility. Obviously, if you guys watch me stream, you have seen my gratitude journal. This is a journal we started just for the stream. I used to write people's names on my wall when people would sub or donate. That got really wasteful when it came to taking care of the environment and lowering our carbon footprint. And one thing I hated about it is I had to take it down every month. Now we have the gratitude journal. I can write everything down. I can date it. I can write down not just when people donate or sub or blah, blah, blah. I can write down when people raid, when friends stop by, when we hit milestones, quotes that are said in stream that make me laugh or make me happy. I can add stickers and personalize it for the stream based on what viewers want and ask for while I'm live. And it's just been my favorite way to not only show my gratitude to you guys live on stream, but remind myself of that gratitude off stream. I can look at this journal any day of the week when I'm feeling imposter syndrome-y, or I'm feeling like I've made no impact on this world, and I can see all these names of people that I've clearly made an impact on, and I can see these people who mean the world to me and remember that I do what I do and why I do it. I love this journal. I had to add this because I think gratitude journals in general are really important. I have always thought that writing down things that you're grateful for is amazing for the mental health. Every therapist I've ever seen has suggested it, and I think that's why we do affirmations, right? It's like a repetitive reminder. But let's talk about the journals that you guys don't really know about, the journals that you don't see. Let's start with, I guess, the typical journal. This is my journal. This is the journal where I write down things, almost stream of consciousness. But let me tell you, as someone whose brain doesn't work neurotypically, I can't always decide what I'm putting to paper. So sometimes we just do lists. So this is the journal I pick up when I need to remind myself of things I'm grateful for, or when I need to work through a specific thought process. You guys might have already seen the YouTube video where I talk about the things that I decided to leave in 2021. That was a prompt that I had seen on a TikTok, and the first thing I did was pick up this journal and write down, what am I going to leave? And I wrote down all the things that I was planning on leaving in 2021. A lot of the times I get prompted by something that's said in a video on TikTok or YouTube that makes me think. And I can't always think out loud. So I write down that prompt in this journal and answer it. On December 13th, I wrote down, what am I gaining from change? There is this thing that's going on behind the scenes that I can't tell you guys about just yet. And it was making me extremely anxious. And I was watching a TikTok that was like, why don't you stop thinking about what you're losing when you change? and start thinking about what you gain when you change. Think of it as like a positive thing. Like we mourn these old versions of ourselves, especially after we've gone through trauma. We miss that version of ourselves before the trauma happened, right? And that's something I dwell on personally too often. And so when someone brought this up, I was like, yes, I need to write down what I'm gaining from change. Like I said, this is my typical journal, but I don't treat it so typically. Actually, this past week, I took some time off from streaming and started journaling every single day, not out of routine, but because it was something that I felt driven to do every day on my break. And I was walking through Target and found this cute little notepad. Today's top 3. Now, this is something that I've been sticking on each day as I've been writing them to keep me on track, to do my due diligence as someone with ADHD. So every day I choose a big 3. 3 things that I want to accomplish, whether they are literal or figurative. Today's top 3 were, first of all, therapy, Isley time, and something for me. This one is very literal. I had therapy. I wanted to make sure that I had a good therapy session. This is something that takes up a lot of my brain power, so it goes on the list. Number 2, Isley time. This is something that is important to me, but also important to my loved one, Isley, my dog. Sometimes, if I don't write down and make time for her, I don't give her time because I block out too much time for work or me time. Mostly work though, because I'm really bad at not working. I block Isley time off as a main thing so that I can remember to take like an hour to hang out on the hammock and throw the ball around in the backyard for her, take her for a walk, do all the things, etc. Now, something for me. That's number 3, besties. This is something that I feel out throughout the day. That could be doing my dishes, because that's something for future me to be excited about, something that I did that was good for my brain. It could also be journaling. It could also be taking a long shower. It could be washing my hair so that future me doesn't have to worry about washing my hair in the morning. But I have to write this down because it's literally like object permanence. If it's not marked off in my schedule, I won't do it and I will overwork myself and I will continue to work. Literally, it can be anything, and I like that it's so loose and I can make the big 3 whatever I need it to be to keep myself on track. Once I am done writing in my regular prompts for the day, I take it off of the Post-it, I lay it down, and then throughout the day, I check off the boxes. And then I feel like I was productive, even when these weren't necessarily productive things, but things that were just good for me, or self-care, or things that I just needed to do, damn it, you know? This next journal I'm about to show you, every time I show it to my camera, it throws off my white balance because the outside of the journal is completely white. So I'm gonna show it to you over here. Do you see that? It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's like engraved and it looks like a succulent terrarium. It's super cute, okay? I got this from Urban Outfitters. I try not to buy a bunch of shit from Urban Outfitters, but I saw this and I saw the inside prompts and said, I have to get this.
You're coming home with me.
On one of my monthly favorites, like months ago, I showed you guys my intentions journal. After I found this journal, I threw the intentions journal away because this actually meets my personal needs and like brain better than the intentions one does. So the reason I love this journal is it has prompts that you can fill out throughout the day or fill out at the end of the day as almost like a reminder of what you did for yourself or maybe what you lacked in doing for yourself throughout the day. The reason I love this journal is once again because of my ADHD. I am so good at forgetting whether I've drank enough water, whether I've done enough work or had enough of a well-rounded day or even fed myself. And this journal is great about that because it gives you an area to talk about what you ate for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. It gives you an area to talk about how long you slept throughout the night. And if you had good or bad dreams, you can write about that. There's a little notes section for that. Not only that, but it has an area for the activities that you partook in throughout the day. Sometimes I like to start my journal entry at the beginning of my day so I can see this list of activities and be like, hey, like, actually, I do kind of want to have some alone time or have some silly time or learn something new or maybe do some meditation or gratitude journaling. And so it's a nice reminder of all the things that aren't checked yet but could be checked off. And if I do this at the end of the day, I can check off all the cool things that I did throughout the day and remind myself that maybe I wasn't fully productive work-wise, but I was doing a bunch of stuff that made me feel good. It's also a great mood check-in. Obviously, there's checks for what your mood was throughout the day and physically how I was feeling. And then there's notes about the things I did for myself and the things that were stressful, but the things that felt good. I just love these prompts. They're really good prompts for reminding me how I'm doing, for like checking in with myself and reminding myself that I did a good job, or maybe I didn't do such a good job and I can tomorrow. This is currently my favorite journal out of all the ones I'm showing you today. It's probably the one I've filled in the most consistently out of all the journals I've ever had. Then we have my 1 line a day journal. This was a present from a viewer who goes by Emo Girl Anime in my Coolie Crew chat. She sent this to me via my Amazon wish list, and I love it. I actually already had one of these that I filled out fully because this is a 1 line a day for 5 years journal. So basically, it has the dates of every day of the year. On those days, you get 1 line to write down how you felt throughout the day, or something you did throughout the day, or a milestone, or something that happened to you at that time on that date. And then you get to compare those years moving forward. So I could see what I did 5 years ago today if I wanted to, looking at the old journal. However, I ran out of room, and there were a lot of like names and things that I just didn't need to look at anymore on the old journals. So Emo Girl got me this one. We have been doing this now for about a year. This is the journal I am not as consistent with because I usually only write down when like really big things happen to me so I can compare them years later. But let me see if I can show you some of my favorites. Oh my God, May 1st, 2021. Isley broke my cam link and other cables. She was running around in my stream room and ran into my computer. Plus, Austin is flooding, and I have a horribly sore throat. So sometimes it's not always good memories, but it is funny to remember the time that Isley literally ran into my computer and snapped my cam link in half. Ooh, this is a fun one. Okay. August 23rd, 2021. I filmed a commercial for Grubhub. So cool. Was so nice, and I think I killed it. Then Cat and Moosh took me to a super cool sushi restaurant, and it made my entire night. Aw, see, I love that shit. And then I can just see where I'm at with friends and relationships a year later. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I just can't wait to use this for many years and see the progress and how far I've come. I know I feel that way when I look at the old one too. This journal I got at Target. It's called My Beautiful Life, a guided journal for self-discovery and reflection. First of all, peep this beautiful cover. It's got a few scratches because I've traveled with this quite a bit, but holy cow, I just love how it looks on the outside. And it has pretty like copper pages, like, hello, it just makes my heart go, ooh. But this journal literally has questions on every page, and I never fill out this in any order. I will literally like scroll through. I'll be like, hey, like today I feel like writing in a journal, but maybe I don't have any full thoughts to put in my normal journal. And maybe I haven't done enough throughout the day to write in this journal. So I pick up this journal because I'm like, I need to put something to paper, some sort of thoughts, but I don't know what. Sometimes the prompt can say something like, what are mistakes that you are glad that you made? And sometimes on like per se, January 18th, 2022, you might write, sometimes I have fully fledged out train of thought answers for these questions. But my favorite thing that I've been doing, I guess is probably inspired by my 1 line a day, is every time I fill out a prompt, I date when I'm filling it out so that I can look at it later and see like if I still feel that same way. And actually, let me go. This is so far my favorite page on this journal. Write down your personal motto. But every time I've written down my personal motto at the time, I wrote what the date was. Because for me, these are like personal milestone markers of where I'm at in life. I can see this and kind of just remember core memories of what was going on at the time. And it's honestly just like another check-in of the progress I've made since trauma, and B, since I've just been going through this thing called life in the middle of a panini press while living alone and basically being all alone and not having a whole lot of family resources to reach out to and just like doing my thing. I'm actually really enjoying where I'm at in life. I just want to make that clear. I'm in a really good place right now, and it's probably partially because of all of these journals. Something I also really like about this journal is that it has quotes on each page that kind of match the prompts, but are also just inspiring or interesting or will prompt thoughts on their own. The last two journals I'm going to show y'all, I'm just going to be super brief about them because I just bought them on my week off of streaming and I haven't written in them a whole lot. But we have my one question a day, which is kind of like my one word a day, except every day that's dated has a specific question to go with it. And I just want to show you guys my January 19th because I think it's funny. That's a conversation for another time, though. And then I have not even written in this journal yet. I bought it 2 days ago. I love the cover. I got this at Target. But this works as a planner with mental check-ins at the beginning of every month. So this has stickers and Post-its to help prioritize things that I need to do. But then at the beginning of every month, instead of like a full-on like, this is what I need to do this month, we have like a check-in, like a self-care check-in and like a progress checker of like what you're currently into, which I just love. And then they have cute little quotes. And then obviously it's like a planner where you have like your things you need to do, your priorities for the week, etc. One thing that is great about this planner style, though, is that nothing is dated specifically. So if I suck at writing in it for a month, I can always just skip it and go to the next month without wasting paper. Or if I were to rediscover this journal in a year, I could still use it because it's not dependent on the correct dating of things. So these are all the journals that I'm like down to show y'all. If I'm super honest, I have 2 other journals that are workbooks, and these are something I want to talk about with y'all because I want to recommend them to you guys. We all have our traumas, we all have our histories, we all have our things that we need to work on to just be happier. For me, sometimes it's self-esteem, and for me, sometimes it's dealing with my PTSD. So I have workbooks that are curated to that. Honestly, what I want to tell you as advice, especially if you aren't a journaler, but you'd like to get into it, is look up something that means something to you, like working on your self-esteem or getting through emotional abuse or working through that eating disorder, etc. I know these are triggering topics, so that's why I'm just going to leave it at that. You can look up these things on the internet, find a workbook yourself, and order that. They will always have prompts and good information to read up on how to improve yourself or how to better your situation or better your feelings about past situations. The workbooks that I've currently been writing in have helped me just see the light at the end of the tunnel in such a significant way. And I have to thank my therapist for that too, because she suggested them. So yeah, just little suggestions. All I want to say is that this doesn't have to be something that you pressure yourself on. This can be something that you choose to do for yourself. Another way that I've been wording things lately is instead of like a to-do list, I have a things I could do list. And on that could do list for you, it could be writing down your thoughts in a journal. I hope that this was interesting for you. I hope that this helped. And I would love, as like a little exercise for those of you who are just beginning in journaling, or maybe you are a lover of journaling and you want to learn more about what other people who journal. So do me a favor. In the comment section below, I want to see 3 things that you are grateful for and 1 thing that you like about yourself. I love that shit. I want to see that shit. Let me know if you liked this video by leaving a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I make all different kinds of content on all different platforms. I am a streamer on Twitch. I am a content creator on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and I have a Discord and a fan house. So consider following me on all those places, but I'm going to do my best to make you feel good and make you laugh along the way. I will see you guys on the YouTubes later. Let's do some self-care together, friends.